Good evening. I would like to call to order the Kaiser City Council in regular session. It is Monday, March 19th, 2018, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Ryan?
Here.
Councilor Freeman?
Here.
Councilor Reed?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Council President Parsons?
Here.
Councilor Herrera?
Here.
And Councilor Anderson.
He is excused with advance notice. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everything's green? Well, it's kind of that spring and all that. Oh, yeah, it is.
Green? St.
Don't-
Patrick's Day?
Think about extra filter.
The green tint?
We're noticing the tint on the television screen. I would like to make an addition under special orders of business tonight. We have a special guest with us, Dr. Pritam Rohila and his wife Kundan, and they have something to talk about and something to present to me and the city. If you would have a seat and introduce yourselves, please.
Get the mic closer.
Yeah, get the mic close so the people on the television can hear you, if you would, please. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, you are welcome. Thank you.
Microphone, pull,
Right up
there you go.
There you go.
Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Thank you for inviting us and letting us be here at this important occasion for you. And I am Pritam Rohila. This is my wife Kundan. We've been working for peace for the last 25 years, more than that. We were concentrating on India and Pakistan. We made 4 trips to both countries up to the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. And we made 2 trips to establish contacts with various peace organizations there. And then in 2013 and 12, we conducted peace camps for young people in both countries, several of them. And then in 2014, I realized that we can promote peace in our backyard too. And so we started doing, organizing 34 days of peace, starting from September 21st, which is the International Day of Peace, through October 24, which is the United Nations Day. And we did that in 14, 15, and 16. And then last year, after there were several incidents of communal violence in Portland, Eugene, and Salem, we organized a forum in last May, on preventing communal violence in our communities. And in September, we conducted a follow-up session with the participants of that symposium. In any case, today I'm here to make a presentation to the mayor. It's not a big thing, but we had brought it from India, and I couldn't think of anybody else more deserving than the Mayor Clark. And it is a calendar, 2018 calendar, with yoga postures and descriptions of all the yoga positions and their benefits. So by the end of 2018, Mayor Clark will be expert in teaching us all about yoga.
Thank you so much. And thank you. And thank you. I want to thank you for the work that you are doing in our community through your peace calendar and through other activities that help us remember that we are all neighbors that are taking care of each other. So thank you for your work. And if somebody wants to get on the peace calendar, where might they do that?
Well, write to me. Send me an email at asiapeace@comcast.net. ASIAPEACE@comcast.net. I believe peace is much more than absence of war and conflict. It is a multidimensional, dynamic process of interrelating within and between individuals, groups, and nations, and with the environment, which is characterized by compassion, inclusiveness, and respect for rights of others. And it consists of personal peace, interpersonal peace, international peace, and universal peace, that is peace with the environment. And the calendar that Mayor has referred to is consisting of 4 sections. These sections each 1st and 15th of the month. And if you are interested, please write to me, asiapeace@comcast.net.
You
Thank
have
you
card?
very much for your attention.
You have card?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank
We'll
for
let
your
you
work.
proceed with your business.
Thank you. So I'm going to put this calendar up in the council office so all of us can learn together. So thanks. But I really appreciate the work that he and so many people in our community are doing to bring people together and to learn about each other and to build relationships. So this is a very special gift. Thank you. Which I will open probably later. All right. That takes us now to committee reports, and we have 2 representatives from our committees who are here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Parks report from Dylan Duran.
Hello. So our agenda this week, or this month, was pretty light. We basically just reassigned park duties for the whole Parks Board, and we'll be doing a more regular report from the whole board every other month. Even-numbered seats will report on their parks and on even-numbered months, and the same for odd. Do I need to give a report on the staff report that was given? Does anyone know?
Do we have on the staff report that was given to the Parks Board?
Yes.
No, we were all sent that, so we have it available to read, and I would remind anybody who didn't read it, they're all available online. All of our committee agendas as well as the council agendas are available. The packets are there.
Well, then that was all that happened, so.
Hey!
Cool, thank you.
All right, any questions real quick?
Sorry.
All right, thank you so much for coming tonight, we appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Hirsch, you're up. You're wearing 2 hats tonight. Kind of three. Oh, something about Monster Cookie?
Oh, yes.
Ah, okay. Well, identify the hat and have at
Okay,
it.
first hat will be the Planning Commission, and we had no, I can't say we had a quiet night. Nate's kind of rolling his eyes. We took on a subject that's very difficult in our town. It was a text amendment changes to signs.
Difficult in every town.
Yeah, well, definitely in this town. And we had a really good presentation in point of view from the chamber on some of the text amendments. And the members, we had some discussions. Most of the stuff everybody agreed on, except for 2 areas that we got into a lot of discussion. One is the use of the Mylar window screens, and then the issue of frequency on the electronics. And what the commission will be recommending to you is we deleted the Mylar issue. We didn't feel that that was an area that could really be enforced or such. And then on the electronics, as being also the past chair of traffic safety, I did a lot of research on safety on it, and I never found any data per se that would say that one was better than the other. Currently, it's every 15 minutes, and the chamber was recommending 8, and we recommended 15 seconds. So that's what will be coming to council. But there was a lot of discussion. It wasn't our longest meeting. I think the marijuana was our longest one. We lasted till 10:30 on that one, but we were out by 9 on this one. But there was a lot of good discussion back and forth on this one.
Before we switch to traffic safety, are there any questions on the Planning Commission report?
Did I cover it pretty well, Nate? Okay.
And those were also televised, so if people would like to watch that and see what was, hear what was said directly, that I would encourage people to go online, kaisertv.com, and watch that Planning Commission meeting. You're right, Hirsch. This is a tough one, and every time it comes up, it is a complex issue.
It definitely was, but everybody was very civil about it and with factual presentation. So I really appreciate that, both as the commissioners and the people that came and talked. So it was pretty good. And I have to give a big attaboy to staff who had everybody ahead of time prepared and all the information out there. So that made a lot of, there were no, oh, what about this? So there was some good prep work ahead of time, so that's appreciative.
Councilor Ryan.
Thank you. I just have a question. Did you discuss the directional signage within Kaiser Station? Was that part of the discussion?
No, it was not.
Okay, I'll follow up. Thank you.
Yeah, we were, Kaiser Station, our understanding there was a little bit different requirements and stuff as compared to this hearing in text, so.
All right, good question. Okay, switch hats.
Traffic. Wayne Fry is the new chair of the Traffic, Bikeways, and Pedestrian Committee. But I wanted to, at least while I'm here, see what we're doing. One of the big focuses that the committee is doing, and several members are following this by attending meetings, is House Bill 2017, the update on the Oregon transportation monies. We're hoping that as the commission and the group that's working on how to do the application, especially for the safe routes, that we can be in line and ready. Several projects we've identified that we think are priorities, and one of them has been already identified as Cummings Elementary. Of course, a lot of that depends on the school district bond too, and then Kennedy Elementary for safety. So we've looked at those areas, and also McNary High School, because that issue keeps coming up, and again, kind of depends on how the bond goes and how the design work goes on that one. So that's been our major focus, and a lot of attending of ODOT and Safe Routes to School meetings for that one.
So I do have one follow-up on that, and the first one is thank you. There have been other Safe Routes to School programs, and they have been very dependent on a parent group or some sort of advocacy group at the individual schools. And the version they have out now through Department of Transportation is more comprehensive, so we can engage this way. And with you and your committee getting involved, it's really going to help that conversation and get the groundwork in place so we can get projects to go. We have not been able to do that before, so thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and also from every parent of a child trying to get to our schools. And also, did everybody weigh in on the Wheatland Road project? I think we sent the link to the survey, and there are updates on the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments website to comment on that project, which is one that is very important to us with doing a full design before we go to construction for completing the not only just bike ped, but looking at the design of that corridor so it works well for single occupancy vehicles, transit, freight, bike and ped, all of which get to share that road. So definitely want to keep everybody on the committee up to date on that very important project.
Safe Routes to School, most of the monies are coming from the transportation fees that were established in that House bill. So how much we'll get, I don't know. And the Safe Routes to School per se is both soft skill training and engineering. So
Absolutely. And there'll be more projects coming after these, which is really cool that we actually get some of them to go, and then we can start working on the rest of the list that are in the transportation system plan. So this is exciting. Thank you for your work on that. Any questions on bike ped traffic safety?
Monster
Cookie.
Monster Cookie. Again, the main reason we come to Kaiser is this ride is put on by the Salem Bicycle Club, but the partnership that we've had with the city of Kaiser, with Public Works, and with the police, what's been going on almost 30 years now. And we get comments from all over about, how did you get the police to work so nicely with you? That's
You're just
Kaiser.
nice.
So it will be April 29th, and it, again, is one of the premier bicycle rides in the state of Oregon. It was voted by Orbike, which is the big Portland, Oregon magazine, as the third best supported ride in the state of Oregon. And right now, our projections are, based on our pre-registration, is 2,000 cyclists. Now, what that means is, to the local economy, is that we buy everything local. The catering is K Catering. So all the sandwiches are right from here in Kaiser. All the fruits and vegetables are from Easy Orchards. All the cookies, the 9 million cookies, of every kind you want. I had a gentleman call this week from Coos Bay, and he has a group of people coming. Only if I can guarantee him that we'll have the macaroons. We'll have macaroons.
We'll cycle for
And the cookies are made at Wholesale Bakery, which is on Market and Park. So everything is local, even the t-shirt is locally made. We don't do anything. So right now, if we're projecting 2,000 cyclists, we'll drop about $35,000 in the local economy.
Wonderful.
And the bike club will donate $1 per rider back to the community. Last year, the city of Kaiser got over $300 for our helmet program. And the city of Salem got, I can't remember the amount, for a bike rack in the East Salem Park. So the money does come back to the community.
So that is so exciting. Yes, city manager.
Just a quick question. So based on your guesstimate of 9 million cookies and 2,000 riders, that's roughly 4,500 cookies per rider?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
All right, you're good to go.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, good cookies.
Yeah.
This is not one person contacted me to help. They wanted to sell nutritional foods and stuff. And I said, this ride's about cookies. A lot of cookies.
Yep.
But the big thing is, we love the police and their involvement, and Bill helping make sure that they reschedule the sweeping so it gets to clean the area that we'll be riding through. And again, we pay the police. It's not taxpayers' money, but we love them. I mean, Trevor Winnings has said, I've never said thank you so much in so short a time.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and we'll all be thinking good thoughts toward good weather. Councilor Reed.
Can you just say one more time the date so that everybody's listening for that?
April 29th, it starts at the Capitol Building, and it is a ride from the State Capitol Building to Shampooey State Park, and then it passes a third state park, Willamette Mission. So State Parks is one of our sponsors.
Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In regards to the helmet program, I want to thank you for your participation as well as our police department because that has helped a lot of kids, and I'm ready for some more helmets. I also want to tell you that I hope you're enjoying your Nutcracker.
Oh, I love that.
So, thanks a
Council
lot.
Herrera gave me a Nutcracker with a bicycle, and he was wearing a helmet, and it's got my name on it, and it's on my desk at home. Yeah, well, thank you very much. It was really kind of caught me off guard when he handed it to me, and it was really nice. So thank you very much.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it, and keep us up to date. And you have a website and you have a Facebook page.
Yes, SalemBicycleClub.org.
Fabulous.
And everything in it. And if you, it's not a race, just a good family, all kind of ride. And our rest stop is at Brian Zielinski's farm.
Nice. Celebrating our agriculture. It's all good stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That concludes those committee reports, and we'll finish up those during our council reports. So this takes us to public testimony. This time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have one public hearing tonight, and that is for Cafe Yum liquor license application. So is there anybody who wants to speak to us not on the public hearing? Seeing none, let's go ahead and I will open the public hearing on Cafe Yum liquor license application. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On February 21st, 2018, the city received an application for a new liquor license for Cafe Yum, which will be located at 5920 Ulali Drive Northeast in Kaiser, Oregon. The application is for a limited on-premises license as required by Kaiser Ordinance. Public hearing was scheduled, notice was published and mailed to all property owners within 200 feet. And the Kaiser Police Department reports a clear background check on the applicants. In addition, the Kaiser Community Development Department finds the location to be properly zoned and had no additional comments. It is recommended the public hearing be open to allow for testimony from the applicant or other interested individuals, and upon completion, the hearing be closed. It is further recommended City Council recommend approval of the application for Cafe Yum under the guidelines as established by ORS 471.178 and the ordinances of the City of Kaiser. And then the recommendation will be forwarded to the Oregon Liquor Control Commission for their approval. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on the staff report?
And I believe the owner-operators
Yes.
in the audience.
I'd like to invite you on down, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about your opening, your restaurant, and gives us a chance to ask some questions.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Sean Zorn. 49% ownership in the restaurant with my wife. I give her 51.
That's best.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to be here tonight. She's got a little one at home, along with our two older boys. And so we just, I thank you for the opportunity to be here and present Cafe Yum to Kaiser. We're really excited to bring it out here.
Well, there's been a lot of excitement on Facebook and other media about you coming out here, so I think the feeling's mutual. So you're applying for your liquor license. So tell us about what you have in mind for that as part of your ongoing operation.
Well, as far as our operation, it's not a real big piece of what we do. We like to be able to provide beer or wine for those that like to enjoy that. But that's a small part of what we do. Our Yum Bowl is what we're famous for. That's the biggest piece of Cafe Yum. That's where it all started for Cafe Yum, is the original Yum Bowl.
Which I've enjoyed many times.
And do you operate the South Salem location as well?
Yes.
Are there any questions for Mr.? Oh, when are you opening?
So we're currently, if everything goes as planned, we're looking at April 19th with a grand opening May 8th.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. That's right in time for Iris Festival.
Yes.
That was a good thing. Yum. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to you being very successful here in
Thank you
Kaiser.
so much.
Thank you. And aside from our faithful scribe from the Kaiser Times, there's nobody else in the audience. Are there any other questions from City Council? Like to close public hearing? Council President Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the Kaiser City Council recommend approval of the application for Cafe Yum under the guidelines as established by ORS 471.178 and the ordinances of the City of Kaiser, and forward that recommendation to the Oregon Liquor Control Commission for final approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council recommend approval of the application for Cafe Yum under the guidelines established by ORS 471.178 and the ordinances of the City of Kaiser, and to forward that recommendation for approval to the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously with one absent. Councilor Anderson. Thank you very much. Well played, sir. If anybody didn't hear that, he voted yum. All right, we have no administrative action tonight, so we'll go to the consent calendar. Council President Parsons, do you want to read off the items on the consent calendar tonight?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 3 items on the consent calendar tonight. The first one is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into lubricate and survey agreement with the Otis Elevator Company. B is approval of the February 20th City Council regular session minutes, and C is the approval of the March 5th City Council regular session minutes.
All right, are there any polls? Council President Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move approval of the consent calendar, items A through C.
Second.
The consent calendar has been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously with one absent. This takes us to, we have a skip here.
You do?
Yeah, it should be, council liaison reports.
Oh.
So, 10 is missing from the printed
written,
agenda. Anyway, but I know where we're at, so we'll just keep going. Council liaison reports. So I think last time I started at this end, so Councilor Ryan, would you like to get started?
I have nothing tonight, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Councilor Freeman.
Oh, let's see, we had, last week we had West Kaiser Neighborhood Association, and we had 15 people, and we had some new people from the neighborhood attending, which is always great, and thank you to Mr. Lawyer for following up on some of the questions from the neighborhood. Most importantly, when will the trees be burned at Kaiser River Rapids Park? So I know between Bill and Robert, they'll be working and letting West Kaiser know so they can get the word out to all the neighbors as well. Last week we had the Volunteer Coordinating Committee meeting. It was short, I think lasted 15 minutes, but most importantly, just to be aware that next month, April, is Volunteer Appreciation Month. So if you sit on a committee, you may want to show up because there's always a special treat for you during the month of April. And we had a report earlier from Hirsch Sanctor, the chair of the Planning Commission, and my echoes to the commission as well for having a very thorough and detailed conversation, and to Nate and Shane as well for sharing some really good information for the commission to look at and really think about what our city would look like depending on which way the commission went. So as a counselor kind of in and out of that discussion, I just want to say thank you, and the commission really took to heart some of the comments, and I believe have put forth a recommendation that you heard Hirsch talk about, and I think will be in favor from the business perspective as well, because we did have some chamber members in the audience and that did testify. So I think, again, good discussion and worth the wait to bring it back and have some more discussion. So thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Councilor Reed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We started with the budget adventure. We had the budget meeting, or it was the long-term planning part of the budget process. So that was interesting and instructive, and went very smoothly, and more to come on that. The Kaiser Heritage Board meeting was also, since we met last. Went to a fantastic McNary Choir concert, and I also saw Counselor Anderson there as well. Just really, really an impressive concert by all the McNary choirs, and it was just very well done, and just a brilliant program going on there with lots of kids being able to develop their talents in lots of ways. Kaiser Homegrown Theater opened their Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon, and I went to that a couple times last weekend, and that was a lot of fun. And that's over at the Kaiser Heritage Center, and they're performing for one more weekend, Friday, Saturday, with the Sunday matinee. So that is a fantastic opportunity to. It's 7 o'clock on the evening performances and 2 o'clock for the matinee. So great show and lots of fun. Did the Civic Center clean up, and it wasn't raining. That was really exciting. And we had a wonderful turnout, especially a lot of kids. Both the McNary, Claggett, and Whitaker kids were all there in force, and it was great to see them there and just really working hard. And again, a thanks to all of those who did the prep work. We like to think that we are doing a lot of work as far as the cleanup part, but the real work is in the prep, and we really appreciate that. We appreciate all of those involved with that.
Yeah, I have a good authority that Mark Callier was pretty sore after that.
Yes.
He did a lot of the prep work the day before, along with some other staff. But
Yes.
He was at it all day.
Yes, and again, just a wonderful turnout from all kinds of community members. It was really a great event. Just an announcement that we are having spring conferences at McNary High School, and other high school, or the middle schools, I believe, are also having conferences. And those will be Wednesday evening and all day Thursday. So I believe they start 4:30 on Wednesday evening, and then it'll be various sessions throughout all of Thursday from 7:30 in the morning till 4:30 at night. So, nope,
Long day.
7:30 at night. Yeah, 4:30, yeah, 12 hours. That's what I know. So anyway, this is a great opportunity to get to know the teachers, get your kids a good workload for spring break, because, you know, they love that. And anyway, just a really good opportunity to build those relationships.
Fabulous. And also a reminder that kids will be out of school for spring break, so to be extra cautious as they may be out and about, and hopefully they'll be enjoying our parks. All right. Council President Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I had a very slow week, too. Just a reminder that Hop Jacks is opening up. I think they're opening the 26th for the public, and I think the few days before for other people. Again, spring break, so you want to slow down, watch out for the kids. We had Marion County Commissioners Breakfast. I missed everything else because I had the flu. So coming up next month, the traffic safety, by the way, I did want to make a comment. This group, every single one of them is so involved, and they've each taken on a project that they want to see to fruition between now and 2 years from now, when they can get some money, hopefully from this grant. But they're busy the whole time, and they each have their assignments, and they even email each other with the finished product and everything. So I enjoy sitting with them because they have some great ideas and some great information. He didn't even kind of hit the surface of really what they're doing. So I wanted to say that and congratulate them on doing a good job. So
Very much appreciated, that's for sure. And I'm glad you are feeling better, but in this case, sharing is not caring. So
I'm not sharing it. No problem.
thank you. All right, Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We also attended the Marion County breakfast. I missed a few meetings because of illness, probably the 4 worst days of my life. From that Friday to Monday, I lost 13 pounds, hard to believe.
That's not the
But
way to do it.
It was easy to get them back, though. It wasn't too bad. Tacos, you know. And also, I missed out on a couple of meetings, but I want to congratulate my good friend Reina Lopez, who's the new executive director of Bakun and Woodburn. She's a local girl, Willamette graduate, and a very nice young lady to lead that organization. Also, I want to thank my coworker, Myra Hernandez, who's now a member of the volunteer coordinating committee. And she was a little nervous, but she called me right afterwards and texted me right afterwards and said, those people are really nice. Anyway, so also spring sports is coming up now, and you've said pretty much what I was going to say about spring vacation, and so everybody be careful there. On a sad note, what is going on in Austin, Texas, my cousin's neighbor was the Hispanic lady.
Oh,
Yeah, and she was in critical condition, and
so sorry.
I can't pronounce her name right now, but it was kind of sad, and she's going to pull through. But if you haven't been following the news, it's a really sad situation. There's an anonymous bomber out there, so that was my connection to that. And sadly, I just hate to hear news like that. But also, I like to. I'm looking forward to the Hop Jacks, a little soft opening over there, because I've heard a lot of good things already. This hasn't even opened yet. The last thing is I want to thank this council for their hard work, because whoever covered for me on parks, and whoever, last minute I missed some meetings, and somebody always seems to step up when somebody's down, and that's what I appreciate about this group. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. I'm very glad that both of you are feeling better. This has been a tough flu season for so many people, and we just need to get into spring, and hopefully people will stay healthy and maybe not smack up their hand.
Oh, yeah, 7th.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, just a couple things to add. I went to the groundbreaking for Habitat for Humanity. This is a women's build sponsored by Women in Construction, and that was on the 7th. So this is down in South Salem on Samaritan Lane, which is a neighborhood of Habitat for Humanity homes. So I'm very excited that during International Women's Month, that the women who are in construction are able to do another build. This is not their first build, but also very exciting is the young women who are at CTEC, the Career Technical Education Center, in residential construction. And they are getting involved with the build and also forming relationships, mentoring relationships with women who are in the industry. So it's a fabulous opportunity for them to learn alongside women who are already in the industry and be able to grow and be mentored as they build their careers. Very excited about that. I went to the Strategic Economic Development Corporation, otherwise known as SEDCOR, the roundtable lunch with Congressman Schrader. That was on Friday the 9th. The discussion was very wide-ranging, but had a lot to do with issues surrounding our economic development and some other issues. One of the big ones for our region is the proposed project to drain Detroit Lake, which has not been met with much enthusiasm. Let's just put it that way. The congressman is working very hard with regional partners, both state, local, to find something that's actually workable, because draining that and not serving 194,000 people is really just not a good option. So we'll see how that one develops, but it sounds like this is going to be a collaborative effort to find something that's actually practical. I said, hey, we do have a couple of interties, but serving all of Salem for 2 years, just not in our capacity. We just can't do that. I did go to the Green Awards for the Straub Environmental Center. That was on the 10th, and we got to hear about some of the great work of people locally, what they're doing on their own private properties to help with habitat restoration, working with education and young people. Also for opportunities for students throughout Salem-Keizer to learn about their own environment, to learn about where their food comes from, and to learn how they can make a difference in a very practical way. And this is something that we see with our students who are involved with projects with the Clagger Creek Watershed Council. And we had them out, as Councilor Reed was mentioned, for the City Hall cleanup. We had a lot of students from Whitaker Middle School. There was some folks came from Claggett Creek Middle School, and then the McNary Junior ROTC, Air Force ROTC was here, and they did some pretty heavy lifting with some rocks that had to come out from our rain garden area. We also had Lake Point Community Church, the Rotary, Parks Board, city staff, city council, and Kaiser Homegrown Theater Folks were out there, it was about 96 people were signed up, according to the count that I got from Matt Lawyer, and it was thank goodness it wasn't raining, but more importantly, if you walk around this building, they raked up, took care of about, I think it was 30, was it 30,000? Anyway, it was a big dumpster out there, cubic yards. So it was the 30 yards, 30 yards of yard debris, and that sucker's pretty full. So thank you to everybody who came out for that effort. I would like to thank the Kaiser Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring the State of the City address on the 13th. The video of that is posted, so if you go to the kaisertv.com, or some of us have it on our Facebook pages, you can see what we talked about, what's happening in Kaiser, and I think a lot of you know that we have some good things going and there's more coming. On the 15th, I gave with Chair Ken Woods of the Mid-Willamette Area Commission on Transportation our annual report to the Oregon Transportation Commission. The Mid-Willamette Act is the oldest one in the state. We are very well established, and one of the things that we are well known for is the three-county collaboration we have. The Mid-Willamette Act is Marion, Polk, and Yamhill counties. And when we are targeting projects to get them done, our job one is safety. So anytime they ask us, so what do you need done first? The safety projects, get them done. There's too many people being hurt and killed on our highways. And we will continue with that and get those jobs from off the paper and onto the roads. The other thing I got to do was a school tour for the Forest Ridge Optimum Learning Center Student Council. Each of the classes now, grades 1 through 5, has a student council. So they got to come here. We got to talk about what it means to serve on a council, what it means to be elected. They had great questions, and we had a neat conversation with these up-and-coming leaders about what it is to be a city councilor and a mayor of your own city. So thank you to the teachers and the parents who brought the students here, and I look forward to them. We'll make sure that Councilor Reed has their names. When they get to high school, I told them, we want them to be youth liaisons to our committees. Coming up, we've got the Council of Governments Board of Directors meets tomorrow. Community conversation for the Kaiser Chamber of Commerce regarding our school bond on the 22nd. The Grimm Spectacular-thon Kaiser Homegrown Theater. I want to make sure everybody knows where that is. That is over at the Kaiser Heritage Center, which is now the new home of Kaiser Homegrown. We have the Homeless Initiative Task Force Steering Committee will be meeting on the 26th. Salem-Kaiser Area Transportation Study, SCATS, will meet on the 27th. Homeless Connect is also on the 27th. If you're interested in learning about who's doing what in our community, it's down at the Salem First Baptist Church on the 27th. They have a website. Go and check out what's going to be there, and volunteers are always welcome. Homeless Connect. And then I will attend the Salem State of the City address at the Salem Chamber of Commerce on the 28th. Whew, so much for spring break. Oh, that's right. My kids are all grown. I don't get one. All right. So that concludes that part. So that takes us then to other business. This time is provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Tracy?
I have nothing, thank you.
Tim?
Just to build on what the mayor was saying, I did receive a handwritten thank you card from the Forest Ridge Student Council. Has all their names inside of it, so they're very appreciative of being able to come here and taking a little bit of our time. So thank you.
Very nice.
John?
Yeah, two things. You're aware we had an officer-involved shooting last week. OSP's been investigating that. The district attorney's office is responsible for what information is released. It goes to grand jury this week, and we hear that we'll get a more full reporting to the media on Friday. So we're looking forward to that. On a lighter note, we hired our 5th officer under the fee, and he'll start the academy in April. Thank you.
Very good. Bill?
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Chris.
Nate?
Just wanted to make everybody aware that tomorrow and Thursday we'll be doing 9 different interview sessions with our stakeholders. And So each session is about 4 people. So I must say that my staff has done an exceptional job of reaching out to the property owners along both Cherry and River. Some, are not really very concerned, but others are willing and excited to participate. And anyway, so we have people that are going to be involved in this that we have not seen involved in our processes before. And I just want to tell everyone who has agreed to participate, thank you. And it really has the potential to make a big difference on our arterials. So 2 of our sessions are going to be held at the church, and I hope Roland, may have to help me, but Iglesia Luz del Valle Church on Dearborn, just off of River Road. And so we are really trying to reach out and include all members of our community in this process. So I'm encouraged and excited about it, and the work is going forward.
Shannon.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Written communications, I have a couple of items tonight. One is from the West Kaiser Neighborhood Association. And so this was addressed to Tracy Davis. It says, I'm Carol Dorfler, the newly elected president of the West Kaiser Neighborhood Association, the WKNA. I'm writing on behalf of the association following up on the September 2017 incident in which stray bullets from the firing range came across the river into Sunset Park and the surrounding neighborhood. We have been told by Lieutenant Andrew Copeland of Kaiser Police Department and retired Salem officer Dan Dietz, who lives in West Kaiser just down river from the range, that you have taken steps to ensure that such an incident will not be repeated. And they shared pictures of the signage that's been put up. We are fortunate here in West Kaiser to have 4 parks on the Willamette, all of them used by our citizens young and old. The freedom to enjoy these parks without worrying about an errant or simply careless gunfire from across the river is a major public safety concern of the Kaiser Police Department, the West Kaiser Neighbors Association Board, and our neighbors. And we thank you for your concern and the steps you've taken to prevent a repeat of the September incident. And it's signed Carol Dorfler, and the board members Chris Adams, Carolyn Holman, Gary Blake, Rhonda Rich, Art Maurer, and Dennis Phipps. So I wanted to pass that on to you. I did get an email, which Tracy did print off for me. It's regarding the same gun range, and while objects are not flying across, the sound is. And Sunday afternoon was particularly raucous. I know, because I was outside too. So I got an email from a woman who lives over on Judas Avenue, and she says, I'm writing to urge you to take the needs of your residents into consideration with regards to the gunshots coming from across the river. Veterans and people with PTSD or anxiety disorders are particularly affected by the noise, but even just regular people have a legal right to quiet enjoyment of their property. This right is denied by the constant barrage of gunshots audible in our home every weekend that it's not raining. As spring approaches and I make an effort to maintain my home's landscaping, I find it even more difficult to be outdoors because of the obnoxious, intrusive noise. I cannot open my windows without hearing it, even in the house. I frankly don't want to hear is out of our jurisdiction. You're perfectly capable of working with other municipalities to resolve conflicts. I don't want to hear there's nothing we can do. What will you say next time bullets fly into a Kaiser Park and perhaps kill someone? There's nothing you can do, and we've just addressed that particular issue. The fact that gunshots may be coming from private property in no way diminishes the fact they are preventing Kaiser residents, such as myself, the use and enjoyment of our homes. I look forward to hearing from you. And yeah, I was out working my yard as well, and it was extremely loud, and it was all afternoon. So yeah, when I forwarded this to Chris, he goes, well, it is private property. However, is there a way to open a dialogue with the city of Salem or Polk County on noise? Because it is absolutely constant. And there's got to be some time limits on when they can be out there just raising Cain. So I don't know where we go with this, but if there's a way to open a conversation and have them recognize the noise is also an issue.
Well, in terms of ordinances, I think that I don't think it's actually a gun range, I think it's just a quarry, is operating under the existing current county guidelines, and so the county would have to change their guidelines as ordinances to affect a change. And so my suggestion is that the best level of discussion for that to occur would be governing body to governing body.
So call the Polk County Commission, is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm sorry,
I'm
I
actually-
don't want to slough it off to the council, but that's kind of where it has to be at this point, so.
Well, I'm going to actually see a couple of them tomorrow, so we're going to have a little conversation. Okay, get that ball rolling. All right, just make people aware. All right, that is all I have tonight for written communications. Agenda input, April 2nd at 7 p.m., the city council will meet in regular session. On April 9th, we are scheduled for a work session, and I don't believe we have a topic yet. So we're going to put that one on hold. We won't cancel it until we get a little closer, but right now we don't have a topic. And then April 16th, 7 p.m. in regular session. Is there anything else for the good of the order? All right, it is 7:52, and we are adjourned.